No one to play with? There's always PartyPoker.com where the world plays poker.
Last week we saw the celebrities bluffing and bullying for a seat in the first heat of the PartyPoker.com World Open. Actors, comedians and sporting heroes enjoyed a game of cards, with Norman Pace getting the last laugh. Tonight the tournament starts for real. 72 players, $500,000. It can only be one game. Poker. Over the next few months, we'll see some of the best in the world round our poker table, all after that top prize of $200,000. There's 12 heats with only the table winner moving on to the semi-final stages, so it doesn't matter if you're the first or the last to get knocked out. Winning is the only thing that's important. Let's head over to our commentary team, Jessie May and Kenna James.
Good evening and welcome to the World Open. I'm Jessie May, joined by the man ranked number 2 in America, the cowboy, Kenna James.
Howdy.
Ken, it's going to be a great tournament. World Open, big prize pool, but this format, fast structure, one player goes through. What's the best strategy?
Well, you know, this is what's called a shootout format, okay, which means only one winner. You know, you got to play for all the chips. Conversely, you don't want to start out shooting out. You want to get it heads up, almost like you're in a duel and a shootout. So you want to wait and play a guarded strategy at first, see what your opponents are going to do. Don't give anything away. If you can gain a chip advantage early, it is very advantageous.
Do you have to gamble to win?
You do. Not early, though. Late. You have to, as the field shortens, you have to be willing to gamble and put your chips at risk and force your opponents to a decision for all their chips.
Well, we'll see who's willing to let the action come to them. Let's see who's in this first heat, where they're seated.
Hello, my name's Mark Muldoon. I've been playing poker for about 5 or 6 years.
My name's David Broadhurst. I'm from Birmingham. I just think everybody's got the same chance. I think there's a lot of luck, and if your luck's in on the day, you'll win.
I'm Patrick Neckerman. I'm a student right now and I've been playing poker for 15 months. I've never played in an event like this, but I don't know. I'm not too scared. Everything can happen, I guess.
My name's Darren Bloom. I live in London. I've been playing poker for 20 years and mainly recreationally, but I do like to play some of the bigger tournaments. I've got a younger brother who happens to play the odd tournament in there, the Lizard. He's a very, very strong player, but he learnt it all from me.
My name's Norman Pace. I've been playing about 4 years and I managed to win the celebrity heat in order to enter round 1 proper. So I'm playing against the big boys now. Today I'm here to win, you know. I mean, I've learned this. I used to say, oh, I just love playing the game. It's fantastic, just to be here is enough. No, it's not anymore. You know, I've decided that in order to be a winning poker player, you have to have a winning mentality, so I've come to win today.
My name is Eamon O'Neill and I've played tournaments for the last 2 years, but I've played lots of cash games for the last 10 to 30 years.
Well, that's the lineup. Big spread. Now, one player in there, Kenna, we know, last week's winner, now in the main draw, Norman Pace. Does he have to change his game?
Well, I don't think so. He played a nice game last week. He's up against a little bit stiffer competition this week, so he'll have to, you know, maybe be a little bit more creative in garnering those chips. They won't come to him quite as easy as they did last week.
Big spread in ages. The youngster, Patrick Nicholman, out of a university poker school. And, of course, Eamon O'Neill, the silver fox.
Right. Well, Patrick, only 22 years old. In America, we refer to them as the young guns. And then the older statesman, Eamon O'Neill, 66. And that's the great thing about poker is it spans many generations. There's no age barriers, color barriers, anything like that. everybody's on an even keel starting with the same amount of chips and has an equal opportunity to win the event.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a beating heart, you're never too young or too old to gamble. So cards are going to be in the air. Let's get over to the table and see who's going through to the semifinals. Off and running the first heat of the World Open. 6 players here playing down to 1. A button dealer will start in seat number 6, and players beginning this game with 100,000 in tournament chips. The yellows are worth 1,000, the blues are 2, the reds are 5. 600,000 in total chips on the table, and one player will get them all. Darren Bloom has been the tightest player at the table so far, but that may be his strategy, to just sit back for the first couple levels.
Pocket eights for Mark Muldoon.
And Muldoon's just called.
Well, that's a strategy sometimes, is not to let yourself be raised off a hand. You limp in, try, because your main goal is to flop a set and win a big pot.
12 more, 14 total.
This is O'Neill from the big blind, who's made a large raise of 12,000.
Re-raise to 30,000 total.
And Muldoon's picked up on it right away. These chips could go in. He said re-raise to 30.
Yeah, well, he's put in a big re-raise here. So he has 2 things going for him. He's representing probably 2 aces, a bigger hand than he has here, which is going to drive fear into his opponents and fold. But I think Eamon O'Neill here just has too big a hand to get away from it, so he's going to look him up.
I guess they call it a limp re-raise. It's a very strong play pre-flop, isn't it?
It is, especially from early position.
So this pot, about 60,000 and change. And here's the flop. If it comes ace or king.
Wow. Okay, Muldoon flops a set of 8s right here. And he's probably going to... I thought he might slow play and check here, but it looks like he's getting chips to bet right out. And he does.
30,000.
Yeah, I mean, from Muldoon's point of view.
Right. Now, I think I would have, you know, the board wasn't too dangerous there. I would have checked it and hoped that an ace or a king came on the turn, because the objective in No Limit Hold'em is to get all your opponent's chips, not just some of them. And with a hand as strong as a set, you might want to slow play.
Mark seems to be on a roll tonight. It's only early, but he's stretching away from the rest, and once you've got a stack of chips in front of you, you can really get stuck in and bully your opponents. Can the man from Belfast take advantage?
No one to play with? There's always PartyPoker.com.
Welcome back to the PartyPoker.com World Open, a chance for you at home to live out your millionaire fantasies in our competition. Get ready to play cards with the glamorous and the seriously loaded in Europe's gambling capital, Monaco, in our competition. We're giving you the chance to rub shoulders with the rich and famous in the gorgeous Monaco, courtesy of PartyPoker.com. You can win flight, accommodation and £500 spending money for 2 people to enjoy themselves in the ultimate millionaire's playground. All you have to do to be in amongst the Ferraris, yachts and casinos of Southern Europe's finest Playboy location is answer the following question. A pair of kings can also be known as A. Cowboys, B. Indians, or C. Sheriffs. To enter, go to www.5.tv/poker and answer the question. Entrants must be over 18 and the competition closes at midnight on the 12th of September. It's not just the competition on our website, there's loads more poker hints and info. You can find out all you need to know on the game and test yourself in our quiz to see how good you really are. There's also exclusive downloadable video tutorials from some of the biggest names in the game, filling you in on their tips and entertaining you with their poker stories. That's all on www.5.tv/poker.
A dozen hands, a baker's dozen. And this will be hand number 13. cards dealing out, and Mark